Hello everyone! I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, we'll be talking about yet another ship that some of you might already know. The ship I'm talking about is the TSS Olympia, a fine vessel that later in her life would be completely transformed into a cruise ship. She was renamed the MS Regal Empress, and in 1993 she was sold to Regal Cruise Line, receiving her final name. From 2003 until 2009, she operated for Imperial Majesty Cruise Line, becoming the last vintage passenger ship to regularly sail from the United States. This video will be a bit shorter than usual, simply because, sadly, not much is known about this ship. But like I always say, forgotten ships like these still deserve to be remembered, so I hope you enjoy this video as we go through the full story of the TSS Olympia. One of the longest serving passenger ships in history, she was the only ship specifically built for the Greek line. The vessel was constructed by Alexander, Stephen and Sons on the River Clyde. Let's quickly cover the specifics of this ship. She was initially measured at 22,979 gross register tons, with a length of 611 feet, which is 186 meters. The ship could accommodate 138 first-class passengers and 1,169 tourist-class passengers, and she was capable of reaching a speed of 21 knots. The ship was launched on the 16th of April 1953. On her maiden voyage, she departed Glasgow for Liverpool and New York City on the 20th of October 1953. However, her first voyage on the intended route as an ocean liner from Piraeus to New York City did not occur until March 1955 due to legal complications. In 1961, her route was extended to Haifa, Israel. Her transatlantic crossings to New York typically included several intermediate stops. The Olympia also became a familiar sight for immigrant families, arriving at Pier 21 in Halifax, Nova Scotia, making a total of 86 calls at the port. In 1968, the Olympia was officially registered in Greece and began devoting more of her voyages to cruising, which became her sole role by 1970. Around this time, her tonnage had been revised to 17,400. The vessel was laid up at Piraeus in 1974, and the following year, the Greek line faced financial collapse. There are reports of a small fire occurring while the Olympia was laid up or undergoing maintenance in the early 1970s, though it was quickly contained. This may have happened while she was in Piraeus or another Greek port. Unfortunately, records are somewhat inconsistent about the exact date and extent. The Olympia had a remarkably uneventful service life under the Greek line, especially compared to other liners of the same era. Her reputation was that of a reliable and elegant transatlantic liner. In 1981, the Olympia was acquired by Sally Shipping with plans to use her as both a floating hotel and for occasional Caribbean cruises. Renamed the Caribe, she was refitted with Klockner-Humboldt Deutz diesel engines producing 20,270 shaft horsepower, replacing her original steam turbines. The switch to diesel reduced her service speed to about 18 knots. In addition to the new engines, her interiors were extensively renovated. The refits saw the Aegean pool removed and replaced with the Mermaid Bar, while the Calypso room, card room, and drawing room were converted into suites. The Derby room and taverna, located aft of the Olympian Hall restaurant on the restaurant deck, were transformed into a casino. One public space that remained unchanged throughout her life was the paneled library on the promenade deck. When the hotel plan was abandoned, she returned to cruising and, in 1983, rejoined the Commodore Cruise Line fleet as Caribe 1. The ship's original funnel had been replaced with exhaust pipes set in a decorative framework, which in 1988 gave way to a more conventional funnel. In 1993, she was sold to Regal Cruises, renamed the Regal Empress, and began operating out of Port Manatee during the Northern Hemisphere winters and New York City in the summers. By this time, her tonnage was recorded at just 14,500. Following the collapse of Regal Cruises, the Regal Empress was acquired by Imperial Majesty Cruise Line for their 2-night Bahamas cruise service, as she was more economical to operate and could carry more passengers than their own ship Ocean Breeze. In September 2008, the Regal Empress was taken out of service to assist in recovery efforts following Hurricane Ike. She was laid up in Texas for approximately 2 months before returning to service in December 2008. Her final voyage took place on the 6th of March 2009, and 3 days later, on the 9th of March, the Regal Empress was officially retired by Imperial Majesty Cruise Line. She was laid up in Freeport, Bahamas, for sale and inspection until late March. On 26 March, Maritime Matters reported that she had been sold for scrap. The Regal Empress was succeeded by the newer Bahamas Celebration, which continued the same cruise itineraries she had once sailed. Bahamas Celebration sailed for the newly formed Celebration Cruise Line until the company ceased operations in early 2015, following the ship's accidental grounding in 2014. Celebration Cruise Line was owned by the same company that had previously operated the Regal Empress. In early April 2009, the Regal Empress left Freeport for her final journey to Alang. The voyage lasted over 3 months, and she was beached on the 24th of July. Scrapping began in October, starting at the bow, and the demolition was completed by early 2010. And that brings us to the end of the story of the TSS Olympia, a ship that, throughout her life, carried passengers across oceans, adapted to the changing world of cruising, and became a cherished part of maritime history. From her elegant beginnings with the Greek line to her final days as the Regal Empress, she truly was a vessel that stood the test of time. Even though she no longer sails, ships like Olympia remind us of a bygone era of ocean travel, one filled with grace, adventure, and stories worth remembering.
And that marks the end of a video, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, if you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing to the channel, as that would help out the channel a lot. Now, if you have any thoughts, comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section down below, as I absolutely love reading your comments. And please let me know in the comment section down below as well what ships you would like me to cover in the future. Now be as well sure to check out our social media pages. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, and we also recently have a website, oldshippinglines.com, where we have articles of the ships we cover and we have book reviews as well. I think you will enjoy the website very much. Now, with that out of the way, guys, I wish you all a good night or day, wherever you are. Stay safe, stay happy, and we will see each other on the next video. Goodbye, my friends.